Listeners who didn't wish to hear about such things should turn off their radios.
Predictorama 2023 is in full effect, where I make some semi-informed predictions about innovation, big tech, and the like. And this year, I provided 7 predictions about big tech that cover everything from social platforms to AI and everything in between. And speaking of social, that takes us to this year's 5th prediction. TikTok will be banned in the US. TikTok has experienced enormous growth over the past 3 years. COVID accelerated the adoption profoundly back in 2020, and today is still the fastest growing social network in the world, with last year's revenue nearly doubling year over year. But there's blood in the water. We've heard rumblings of a TikTok ban for several years, but it feels like the writing is finally on the wall. The Great Wall, to be more precise. And as you probably know, China has data practices that are from using statewide facial recognition software to surveillance its citizens, to the countless human rights violations that have been discussed for decades. The Chinese government is a tricky bedfellow, especially when it comes to the internet. It just doesn't know how to act. TikTok has already been banned in India, as well as numerous state-issued devices here in the States. Momentum just continues to build. Okay, so what's the big deal with TikTok? Don't all companies capture data? Well, the government controls China's internet, with every interaction being protected by this thing called the Great Firewall. And if you recall, even Google, they left China back in 2010 due to data and censorship issues. Apple has had ongoing issues that are very similar, and it's always a challenge. And with all of this, and with TikTok specifically, the core problem comes down to who actually owns the data. And now look, every social platform captures an egregious amount of data, including your location and all this digital stuff. And in that regard, TikTok really isn't any different. That's table stakes for a social platform. But TikTok is owned by a parent company, ByteDance, which is required by Chinese law to assist the government, including access to its data/your data. Said differently, the Chinese government could request at any time all of your data. ByteDance would have to hand it over. And so it's a no-brainer why TikTok is banned in the military, for example, because a foreign government would have access to every soldier's location. In fairness, there isn't any direct evidence of the Chinese government doing any of this, but they could at any time. But when you add to that TikTok's new Terms of Service agreement, which, in addition to the regular data you would generate through using the app, all the stuff you would expect, it also allows them to capture all of your keystroke patterns, which means they have access to everything you text, write, you search, even when you're not in the app. And it doesn't take much of an imagination to see how this can be leveraged in all kinds of nefarious ways. Every password of every user could be exposed with the press of a button. Though all of those concerns are very real, of course. I think that the governmental posturing of candidates in the US, that's going to be the force that actually pushes this ban over the line. Because China is an easy topic for political leverage and gain. It always polls well. And politicians can use China to rally for bills and exploit the xenophobia of many of their constituents to get their agendas passed.
China.
And though the government almost never agrees on anything, all of the regulations of TikTok thus far in the States, it's been bipartisan. They've reached across party lines, and it seems that everybody's in agreement that some kind of regulation is required. And with all of this, I just can't see TikTok making it to 2024. Given the meteoric rise of TikTok, should it go away, there would be a really massive void, which of course would provide a tremendous opportunity for a new or existing platform to emerge. When Vine, Twitter's short-lived but much-loved video platform, shut down several years ago, it was YouTube that emerged the winner, as it attracted top Vine stars and their audiences, with thousands of hyper-popular creators being displaced and looking for a new home. A revival of Vine would actually be a kind of perfect fit. And so yeah, I think TikTok is going to get banned this year, which is going to provide an opportunity for other platforms to step in and possibly open the door for Vine to return. We'll see.
China.
If you like this content, be sure to check out my other prediction videos in this year's Predictorama. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that stuff. I'll see you in the next one.
Let them have it.